My boys, we have a wonderful machine in our possession, having until we fully explore the full potential of this miraculous machine. We shall tell no one. Hello, welcome to the wonderful world of random sequencing. Today we're going to be talking about the 36 is equal to 26 6 sequence, the 26 6 sequence. That's this right here. The 36 is equal to 26 and the 6 sequence. And I'll explain that. And then we're going to be talking about the 34 is equal to 12, and that's right there, and I'll be talking about that. And there I'm going to explain the two forms of mathematical logic, and that's regular math, which we all know is basically second grade level math, so it's no problem. I think you can handle that. And then we have the random sequencing math, and that is different mathematics. So it's also very simple. In fact, I would consider it to be like first grade level math. So that's no problem too, right? So let me explain a few things here. I'll explain this sequence. So we have the 34, and that is equal to 444, because this statement says 3 fours. 4 4 4, right? 1 2 3, that's 3 fours, and that is equal to 12. So when you get a 34, it's a good possibility you'll get a 12 right there. So this is a very natural sequence, so you want to be aware of that. And another thing is the 12, it is a repeater. It's a repeat statement. So if you get a 12, it's quite possible it's going to trigger off a repeat. And so in other words, it's looking at this 34, and because it has that relationship. So it's repeat 34, and it throws a 34. So that's something that you want to consider, obviously. And so a lot of times when when it creates a combination like this, 34 34, basically this it adds the values. In other words, we got 34 34 is it at 34 34 68, right? So usually it'll give you an answer. So assuming that this is part of the answer because you have a 6, and so it's going to lead to an 8, a number that has an 8. So if you want, you could play all the options of what it could see, because it has to link to an 8. So it could be a natural 8, or it could be if you play all the 8s, which is basically 3 numbers, right? 8, 18, 28, and you'll hit on that. So know that you got to add these numbers. So this is obviously 68, and you already have a 6 there. So somewhere, and another thing is that it has to be like a half step away. So it could be either here or here or here, right? So we're playing off on this section, because then the reason why is because if you look at the location of where this is at, so it's usually really kind of either vertically down. So consider that too. So it's kind of a hint that it may be in this field. So that's one thing, and obviously when you're talking about regular mathematics, so if you see a sequence like this, you have 26 plus 6, right, is 32, and the reason why it added it is because this 9 is the plus symbol. It implies adding. So in other words, if you have the plus here and you got 26, 26 plus 6, that's going to be equal to 32. One thing to note also is that normally when you get a 36 linked to a 26, it's usually an addition problem. And so what it does is it throws another 6 here, because what this says here is it's saying 3 6s, right? 3 6s. This is 2 6s. In other words, this is just 6 6. 3 6s would be 6 6 6, right? So if this is 2 6s, just all you need is to add one more 6 here. So now, in other words, 2 6s is 6 6, and this is a single 6. So you got 1 2 3. That's 3 6s. How do you spell 3 6? 3 6. All right. So I have it right here. So in case you want to go back and look at it, 2 6s is equal to 6, and that is equal to 12. You got 36 is equal to 666, and that's equal to 18, right? So it's pretty logical. 26 plus 6, that's going to equal 36. So it's very important to understand. This is what we call random sequencing math. But it's just adding sixes. This is two sixes, right? 6, 6, and you got another 6 there. That means 3 sixes. This is 2 sixes plus the 1 6, 3 sixes, and that's 666. And obviously, you do the regular math. That's an option 2. It's a possibility, like it did right here. It said 2 6 plus 6 is equal to 32, and you got your add symbol right there, right? So that is very, very, very important to play out. And remember that the addition here, and you're in a situation where it's quite possible that it's going to create that 68, right? Because that's the value, 68. If you add this up, 34 plus 34. So the way you just play all the 8s. That's what I say. That would be all these. And then these statements here, notice how this is real bold. This is a bold 38, right? I mean 39. This is a bold statement. And you take a note of this environment. Now, what this 19 linking to the 33, that means a lot, because here you got 19 linking to a 33. So this is a really bold expression here. So if you look over here, let me see. So let's look at this. So here, what we have here, in other words, on the you got 2 digits here, you got 2 digits here, and the statements are on the left hand side. This is the 1, and this one's the 3. So that's expressing the I am statement, right? The I am statement. And then the value numbers are on the right hand side, so that's 39. So this is saying the same expression, 39. And then you have right here another expression of 39. So that's basically a theme environment, you know. And so this theme could travel down. So in other words, if this is the last expression, right, because this is 39, this is the last, so you want to continue with that theme, right? And so obviously you're going to have a number that has a 3, so that we'll put that in the value section, right? So these are the value sections, and these are the statements. So you put that 3 right there, and obviously it could be a single digit of 3, right? Because that'll connect to a 39. So you want to play. So you have to. This section right here is what we call the X factor. This is like the unknown sequence value that we don't know. Like we're looking at this this unknown. We're here. So remember I said we're going to put a 3 here on the right hand side. So there's your 3, and then we got to figure out the X factor. And there could only be, X factor is equal to 1, 2, 3. So if you put a 1, that's 13. If you put a 2, that's 23. If you put a 3, that's 33. So basically you're playing all these 3s. You don't play the 5, obviously, but just all the 3s. And so you start off with a single digit, and then you put 1, that's 13, 2, 23, and 3 is 33. So those are your only options to play out right here, if you think it's going to sequence to this 39 environment, because it's a bold statement here. Another thing is, notice that you have 1919, right? That's another theme. That's actually another theme. So how does it answer? It creates another 19 here. Let me show you how that works out. In other words, notice here you got 3, 3, 3. That's 9. And then linked to a 1, that's 19. So even if you put, like say, 13, it'll add to the same sort of thing. And I think I have that expression. Let me see if I can find it here. Right here. Okay. So in other words, we're in this situation right here, right? So if you put a 31, still 19, right? 3, 3, 3, and the 1. And if you put a 13 there, it's the same situation. You got 3, 3, 3, and a 1. So that's just kind of a reverse. So if you see that 33, right, and you see, in other words, you got 19, 19. So that's a theme environment. So you notice that once you see the 33, you know that you're going to play either the 13 or 31 to make 19. So remember, these repeaters are themes. They're describing the environment you're in. So this is a really easy equation here, the thing to solve, because if it's repeating 1919, and you got to think, well, it's going to repeat it somehow, and knowing that there's a 33 there, then you go, it's going to play the 31 or 13 to make 19. So that's an easy sequence that you could see play out, and that is, I believe, pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. Oh, here's another thing. Here we have 18, right? So what is, okay, let me describe this. 29 is equal to 99 because it's two nines. What is two nines? 9, and that 9 plus 9 is equal to 18. So in a situation where you have 18, obviously you're going to play out at 29, like right here. But it could happen over here, right? It could happen, and it could happen like 29 or 29. You know what I mean? So the safe thing to do is to play all nines. If you play all nines, and let me see where I have it. I don't know. Oh, here. If you play all nines, it would be 9, 19, and 29, right? Because obviously you know that 2 nines is 9, and 9 plus 9 is equal to 18. So obviously you're assuming it's going to be a 29. So if you want to be safe, play all the nines and you're going to hit. And then you're in a situation, well, it might repeat itself, right? And you're saying it's going to be a 2 to make 29. It's going to be a 20 to make 29, and that would be logically okay. So those are obviously two options that you probably want to play out. But the thing is, notice that it just answered the equation here. It went into if 18 is equal to 29, and so it threw Mother Nature threw a curveball. So in a sense, be aware of that. And so obviously you do want to play a 2 9 or a 20 linked to a 9, but play all nines, because if you did that, you covered all your bases, right? You covered all your bases. So play the 2 to create a 29, play your 20 to play a 29, and then play all your nines. And those are only three numbers here, right? 9, 19, and 29. And you covered so you hit there. And another thing, let me see if I could, this is, I don't know if I've explained this, but notice that we are in this environment of 39. So assuming that this is a 9, this is a 9, obviously, so it's going to link to a 3 and to create a 39 like it did. And this is basically a statement. This is a statement area. But the thing is that what happened is, how you have, this is like, say, plus 6, 6, and you think it's going to be a 12. What happened is that it answered two equations here. It answered this 39 environment, and then this is the 12. So this is like two answers in one little two squares right here, two cells. So that's an interesting idea. Another thing is that the 3 is basically it's the equal statement, right? And the 9 is like the plus statement. So you say equals plus 12 is 6, 6. So that's an interesting concept there too. I believe I've covered all my bases. I think I've explained this right here. In other words, this right here is just 8, which is equal to 16, or the statement 2 8. And so you're expecting it here. It didn't happen because this is a statement. This is basically the make a statement. So if you're going to make a 8, it's either going to be 16 or the statement 2 8, which is 2 8 is 8. And folks, as always, please click the subscribe button below, show some love, give me some thumbs up. I have links below with PayPal and Patreon. And I will see you on the next wonderful world of random sequencing.